An Umrah Journey podcast. Safar, 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 safar to Marwa, safar to Marwa. An Umrah Journey podcast.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma yassir lana ya Allah بزيارة الكعبة للحج والعمرة في هذا العام وفي كل عام من الأعوام القادمة ويسر لنا يا الله بزيارة حبيبك المصطفى سيدنا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أرحم الراحمين.
Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. Welcome to Safar to Marwa podcast, where we discuss about Umrah, Hajj and the journey of the heart. Everything in between with your host Shima.
And my name is Daud bin Hassan.
Alhamdulillah, today our episode is brought to you by Aizah Homes. Berapakah nilai rumah anda? Jawapannya boleh menentukan langkah anda yang seterusnya. Whether you're buying, selling, planning of your future, Aizah Homes is here to guide you every step of the way, inshallah. So Aizah Homes, your property journey begins here. You may reach out to
SRI Aizah at 9873-5402. Again, SRI Aizah 9873-5402. Yallah, hai Aminah.
Okay, so hari ni kita ada special guest. Our special guest ni dia kita seorang yang kita kenal lah. Dia daripada kita punya we have been seeing him and her. Diorang selalu datang into
Selalu.
Dia selalu berdua lah. So we have been volunteering for them and also have been
for the korban projects. Happily volunteering. We enjoy.
Yes,
We really enjoy.
Yes.
Even though tired, even though last year petapatan balik pukul 10 malam, 11 malam. But ala kulli hal kita enjoy doing this.
Let's introduce to you the couple that we have here is
Brother Ashraf and Sister Nabila with us here. They are the owners of Aliyah Rizq Farm. Betul tak? Alhamdulillah. And one more, your mother, right, is also one of the founders.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, we are glad to have you here today to share more about the ibadah korban that you yourself are preparing, and hopefully Singaporeans will understand how is it like, the struggles that you have to go through to bring back live korban into Singapore, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Okay, so can you tell me, of course lah benda-benda ni selalu orang akan interview, macam mana mulanya Aliyah Rizq Farm?
So the beginning is where, because my mother Siti Alawiyah, right? So the name is after her lah, Aliyah, right? Nama glamour lah Aliyah, right? So when this was when we were engaged, we were engaged, and then she always had a dream of starting up a farm. So she had kira some savings saved up, and she had a conversation dengan Ashraf, and she said, Umi nak buat kambing punya business lah, right? So then Ashraf has always been in business, right? Different types of business. So they actually had this thing planned without me knowing. Right? So they had a conversation, rancak sangat berbual, and then they decided together that okay, let's do this after we get married, right?
Mak
mertua.
Ni kira kan best tau. Mak mertua dengan anak
Dengan
menantu.
anak menantu dah kautim.
Kauting.
Sebelum kahwin dah kautim dah.
Sebelum kahwin dah kautim. So then after that we had that conversation a bit more seriously. So we always say that my mother is our first investor.
Yes.
Right, so she's money that she saved up. So right after we got married, then we started with a 2-acre farm dekat Mersing. So that's how it started lah. Yeah.
And then Brother Ashraf.
Yes.
Having your wife beside you, your life partner, your bantal peluk every night. Do you say that you hit jackpot, knowing not being a dear supportive wife, but also ada mother-in-law yang ada visi yang jauh,
supportive lah
supportive.
untuk you.
Of course. That's why bila in the initial stages, bila the discussions happen, dia macam terus click tau. Because she wanted to have a farm. Dia memang dekat Brunei ada like a small kandang kambing, like a hobby
Belakang
for
rumah.
her. Belakang rumah. So dia panggil kambing dia by names. So I saw the passion in her, and then how serious she was in doing it. Saya ni pula memang suka binatang, pencinta haiwan. So when that happened, and then of course I was in love with my wife kat situ.
Yeah, betul.
Having my mother-in-law who has that same interest, definitely kira jackpot lah. Dia macam pinball tau.
Yes, correct. I can see lah macam wow, very supportive. I saw sebenarnya memang kita tengok you punya videos daripada CNA, you punya own videos semua macam wow, this is very fun. I also got to see you punya farm yang kat Malaysia tu daripada small plate a few acres jadi besar.
Jadi besar. You already start this, and then your name Aliyah Rizq comes Rizki with marriage. So you also mention in your history that you start with a humble beginning. How is that so?
I started with a lot of negativity lah. There were a few businesses that we were doing, and then after that things didn't go so well.
Yeah.
And then this opportunity came into the picture. So dia jadi macam satu batu loncatan yang kita ambil lah, right? So then it was a humble beginning for me. Firstly, my mother-in-law was the one who supported it, and then I have a wife who's helping me with all the administrative matters. Walaupun kita kena bolak-balik terbang sana sini, go up and down and all that kan.
Yeah.
That humble beginning keeps us grounded all the time. So that's why I appreciate it lah.
Okay. So nak tahu sikit aja, how you all meet?
Kita met through a seminar.
Seminar.
I was an invited speaker in that seminar, and then she was one of the participants in the seminar. So bila saya tengah bercakap tu, makcik dia yang sibuk. You need to know this guy. You need to know this guy. So the auntie was the one who got us to be meeting together. Initially tu bukan macam nak berkenalan ke apa, tidak lah. It was more like can you help me with my business for them? So I was there like a mentor of sorts lah, untuk mengajar cara-cara untuk berniaga, marketing techniques and stuff like that. Bila dah mengajar ni, tiba-tiba terajar hati pula.
Terajar hati ya. Then after that dah bila terajar hati, dia potong line juga lah.
Dia dah potong, dah bukan cikgu sekarang, siapa yang ajar siapa sekarang.
So in Islam also we also understand that Allah tu dah peruntukkan rezeki kita, rezeki suami isteri, rezeki anak dan sebagainya. So in this marriage, there's always common reminder that marriage will open doors. So how do you experience this personally, the both of you?
It is true that pernikahan, adanya zuriat membuka banyak pintu rezeki yang kita tak sangka from all over the place. So when we got married, I was from a place where it wasn't so good kan. And then when we got married, things got better, although slowly. But of course kita kena go through certain challenges, kena go through certain processes for us to be able to develop ourselves again kan. So that was going on, and you needed a lot of support. So my mother-in-law and my wife and my family members were all there to support at that point of time. So itu adalah satu rezeki. Maknanya kita ada satu support system yang bagus. This is not easy to get, especially for people running business. Yang kedua, dengan cara kita menikah ni, dia membuka lebih banyak peluang untuk menjaga hati. So daripada segi kita dulu sendiri-sendiri nak rawat diri, nak bercakap dengan kawan, kadang-kadang mungkin tak reti, ataupun maybe our friends will not understand, or even if we have friends who understand, they were not many.
Betul.
Right, we only have maybe a few people yang kita percaya. Tapi having a wife means to say that everything that you need to talk about, you have a place where you can always consider as a comfort zone to say anything, to ask for help, to be able to get advice. It's much easier as compared to talking to friends or relatives.
Betul.
So itu pun satu sumber rezeki juga. Then a part of business as well lah. Kita meniaga, nak adakan pekerja pada awal-awal tu, you might need to pay people
Betul.
But because we have a supportive wife, we have a supportive mother-in-law and parents lah, there are things that we can ask for favors instead of getting paid. They were all doing it as a favor at first, because they see the vision kan, they see that this is where we want to go. So by doing that, kita ni tak perlu nak cari mana nak pergi korek, mana nak pergi bayar ni, semua tak ada. It cushions us as well. Itu pun satu sumber rezeki juga.
Betul.
Yang ada satu family yang memahami situasi. Then naturally of course the business grows with your efforts and the family support. So rezeki yang datang tu pun bukan hanya untuk saya, tapi untuk mereka ni juga.
Mereka yang bantu.
Yeah, so dari situlah mereka pun dapat bahagian mereka masing-masing. So they get their shares and we get to see the benefits that we reap as well lah. So benda tu kita nak explain kepada layman not easy. Tapi kita yang mengalami, kita yang experience ni we can vouch that it is true lah.
Betul.
I think if I can also add, I think rezeki also comes in the form of the challenges that we go through. I think sometimes it's very hard to think of challenges as rezeki. But I think with challenges is where we get pushed, and then when we overcome it, then we know, okay, we made a mistake, and then these are the challenges that we have to go through. And then at times yang macam bila when it's very tough kan, and then that's when we have each other to rely on. And that's where you see that, oh, these are my people, these are the people who support me, these are the people who still are rooting for me when maybe the world is against us, for example. Right? So when we go through that challenges, then you know who are your people. Correct. Without those challenges, you think everybody is a friend, but sometimes through those challenges you see, oh, this is an enemy maybe, and these are your real friends, your real supporters. So I think through those challenges, there's also rezeki, I find.
Hidden rezeki yang mungkin kita tak nampak sendiri at first.
Right?
Yeah, after a while, and then kita boleh buka mata kita lah benda-benda macam gini.
Actually very difficult though for us as layman ataupun at the spot of the issue kan. Misal kata satu cabaran datang, there's a challenge that comes to us to be able to see it as a form of rezeki. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for you to say, okay, ada satu cabaran ni, alhamdulillah. Susah.
Yes.
Susah nak bersyukur bila dapat cabaran. Tapi pada kita setiap cabaran tu macam satu peningkatan yang baru. If we are able to overcome that challenge, next time it happens to us again, it's very easy to overcome it. Sebab you dah go through it kan. And that challenge is always given to you because you are the only one who can deal with it.
Betul.
So alhamdulillah lah kan. So we do that lah. Kita suka lah benda tu. Tapi jangan selalu lah.
Tak suka.
But more of that's the principle that we hold on to. Whenever there's challenges, we ask ourselves macam, okay, what is God trying to teach us? Right? Kalau macam benda tu berulang-ulang, maybe it's a lesson that we haven't learned yet. That's why Allah kasih again and again and again, right?
Dia macam retest.
Dia macam retest. You fail last time, this time pass tak, you know?
Betul-betul lah this time.
We see the korban punya operation every year. Volunteer change, attitude change, mosque change dan sebagainya. So you will definitely, dan policy sometimes change. I think we talk about that. I think you are more conversed on that. Right. So at the early stages when you want to find your livestock, how do you find reliable suppliers when you start off your kambing punya business? Talking about BTO, who is eligible to purchase them?
Okay, for BTO, they must be a first timer ataupun second timer buying HDB. For first timer, they are eligible for enhanced housing grant, but there's a ceiling cap. For family is up to 9,000, and for single is up to 4,500. They can apply for the EHG. But for second timer, that means they previously bought a direct HDB before, they bought resale with housing grant. If they were to buy another BTO, they are still eligible for the second BTO, but they need to pay resale levy based on the first subsidy flat that they purchased, which they sold, and they have to payment to the levy based on the type of flats that they own.
What is HFE and who is eligible for HFE?
HFE is actually HDB flat eligibility. Dulu when they want to buy a flat, they need to apply intend to buy. They also have to apply for HLE, housing loan eligibility. It's a separate application at all.
Okay.
But government have put them together. That is where the HFE come in. Inside this HFE, all the information is input. That means whether they're eligible to buy, how much grant they can get, what kind of loan they can get, how much loan they can get. Everything is inside, so it's much more easier. If you're talking who needs to apply for this HFE, anyone who intend to buy a HDB flat, whether it's a BTO, resale flat, they need to have this HFE. So my advice to those buyers buying BTO, make sure your HFE ready before the launch starts. And those who buying for resale flat, make sure your HFE ready before you go and shop around. Because without HFE, the seller or seller's agent cannot issue you option to purchase.
Okay, so
Just a challenge juga tu.
the challenge is not only with the suppliers. The challenge is also situation, climate. Kadang-kadang it's macam the current situation that we have right now. So all these things are factors whether we can get good livestock ke tidak. So dalam let's say Australia lah, in the context of Australia, there are some parts yang lebih sejuk daripada some other parts. And these things they change, dia bergerak kan. So in which season is it winter, in which season is it summer? You nak kena tahu binatang tu datang dari mana. So if you get an animal that is coming from a place yang tengah ada winter, you bawa dia masuk ke Singapore, naturally dia akan stress. Tempat sejuk pergi tempat panas.
Yelah, betul lah.
Kan?
Kita sendiri manusia kalau pergi tempat yang berubah climate, kita sendiri
Kena
Adjust,
adjust.
kan?
ya, kena adjust.
So the animals with all the fur and everything datang kat tempat kita dalam kemah, kipas kecil, panas. They confirm
Nanti dia
stress.
banyak hyperventilate
They
kan.
hyperventilate, they will lose weight, they don't want to eat. So these are things yang can be challenging lah. So you need to be able to find animals yang come from a place where it is not so cold, maybe almost near to what our temperature is like, so that when they come over, dia tak terlampau terencat lah.
Dia punya adjustment is not so
It's not so drastic. So that's one way, one issue. The other issue is whether there is enough planes or not. Kapal terbang ni ada schedule. So kalau pada waktu tu kapal terbang tu dah di charter from some other companies or some other countries, especially if they're going to the Middle East, it's very hard to get an aeroplane secured. Yeah, so these are yearly challenges yang kita kena make sure that we do all these pre-bookings awal-awal lah.
Potong sikit ni semenjak yang Iran war ni ada affected tak?
Oh, this one is lagi happening.
Betul. The main thing, as everybody would know, is fuel surcharge. Right? So if we feel it on the ground, kita isi petrol,
Dah rasa
tiba-tiba macam 2-3 times more. So imagine if it's a plane. Right, so
Jet
that means that means daripada awal tu it's the kambing that we have to select properly, and then we have to book the plane in advance. Kita kan is very time sensitive korban. You cannot book the plane too early because then you will spend a lot of cost on feeding the animals. You cannot bring it too late. Then nanti anything happens, you don't have time to prepare. Right, so fuel surcharge is definitely one of them because the impact is not many planes want to go out because if they go out without proper load, then they also will lose money, right? So some airplanes would say, I'd rather park my aeroplane than I fly and I lose money.
Bayar parking lagi murah.
Bayar parking lagi murah daripada fly.
Correct.
Itu macam ada punya otak.
Itu macam.
Problem juga. So we have to do a lot of convincing to all these carriers lah. Because kita want to sign the contract this year, they said that they are not willing to do it because of the prices increasing every week.
Dia punya
So kalau dia nak sign pada kita sekarang ni, sekali korban lagi sebulan, harga dia melonjak 4 kali, dia kena tank the loss kan.
Betul.
So it's very difficult for them to commit. Tapi alhamdulillah finally dah
Settled lah. Right.
When you want to bring them in or when they are at your farm, especially when you jaga binatang-binatang tu, so what is the essentials that you have to get right? Yani vet, food, living condition that you have to maintain.
Okay.
I would say first that the things that you have to get right is who you hire.
I see.
Right?
Correct.
Because jaga animals is pretty easy compared to the kind of people that you have at your farm and the skills and the qualifications that they have. That's one. But more importantly than that is how trusted are they. Right? In our experience, we've had experience where the staff kira take advantage. Right? We have staff who also tipu. For example, as simple as, boss kambing mati but actually they sold the animal.
Tak
Right?
amanah.
So tak amanah, right? So I would say, you can talk about the animals part, but it's the human side of things is cari pekerja is one of the more important things that we had to learn over the
Do you
years.
look at qualification wise?
I think we have to balance it out. If you don't have qualification for a very skilled, macam say vet, you cannot just hire any person who
Vet
tak tahu,
definitely you have
right?
to get a
So
proper
you have to
vet.
hire good vets. But even in terms of the general workers, yang kasih makan, yang bersihkan the animals, that one is also quite important. So we have to balance between the character of the person that we know when we meet, which is sometimes also wrong. We cannot judge people Awal-awal mungkin kat CV fantastic, interview fantastic, bila kerja tak
Tak buat
testing
kerja
langsung
macam
lah.
Buat
Right?
kerja legung.
So kadang-kadang percaya kambing lebih bagus. Dia percaya manusia.
Jaga binatang lagi best.
Exactly.
It's very difficult to see from paper saja. Yeah, it's very difficult until you put them to the test.
And then benda
Now
ni
you
nak
can
cari
share
susah.
about the animal part.
Correct.
Kalau daripada segi binatang pula, kita nak kena make sure that first the genetics are proper.
Okay.
Kita tak boleh just take any kambing that we see in the market, because kadang-kadang kambing-kambing ni dia dah bantut, tak boleh nak besar. Kadang-kadang dia datang dengan penyakit.
I see.
Kadang-kadang they come from a place where dia tak jaga keturunan dia. So bila you kahwin dengan dia, anak tu boleh gugur, anak tu boleh jadi cacat, boleh jadi gila. So first your genetics must be right. The choice of where you get your animals from is very very important. Yang kedua pula, your feeding patterns and your feeding punya mechanism. Cara you bagi makan tu pada waktu jam berapa. Different timing has a different impact on the animal. Yes. A slight difference in time, let's say setengah jam je difference tu pun has a very strong impact on the animal.
Benda merajuk.
Dia boleh merajuk, dia boleh terencat, dia boleh
Tak selera makan.
tak selera makan, because they are a creature of habit.
I see.
Dia pagi pukul 8 dia nak kena sarapan, contoh. Pukul 8 dia dah standby.
Oh, dah disiplin betul
Dah
ni.
bising, dah
Ada
bising.
bising. So pukul 8 barang tak ada, dia dah jadi marah kan.
Agitated lah.
They agitated, they will use energy, they will burn their fat. When they burn their fat to a point where it eats up into the protein, what you're feeding them today will have no weight gain, ataupun the weight gain is less.
This is
Simple.
very interesting and
Kita tak
who
pernah
knows
dengar ni.
who knows kambing is this detailed and macam gini
Or even the type of food that we give, right? For example, we give napier, that's the staple. But you have to campur with, like say, soy, you have to campur with the molasses. Ini macam kalau kita makan nasi putih hari-hari, boring kan? So dia kan ada lauk-lauk dia. Lauk-lauk baru ada dia punya minerals, baru ada dia punya protein. Kalau we just give one feed every day, kita pun boring.
dia pun
Macam
je
ni kan.
tak selera lah nari
Mak nasi putih lagi.
Kena baca-bancur lah. Kadang-kadang ada serkam padi, kita campurkan, dia rasa ada benda baru. Kadang-kadang dia kasih soya bean,
Soya, yes.
kadang kasih jagung kan.
tukar-tukar.
Ni hari diet special sikit.
Bukan pellet hari-hari yang sama je
Tak
tu.
boleh.
Tak boleh.
And then dia punya makanan untuk the males, the females, dia punya anak-anak, ibu mengandung, semua beza.
Very different
Beza.
formulation lah.
Dia tak boleh sama.
I see.
Ibu yang mengandung perlukan lebih banyak protein, kalsium untuk development of bones, untuk protein development, brain growth and all that kan. So dia ni high calorie, high protein, high fat, high energy punya diet.
I see.
So they can continuously carry the baby and then they can give birth properly. Kalau tak ada energy to give birth, you nak kena bantu dia. Anak pula bila dah melahirkan, kan kebanyakan menyusu. But how fast can you get him out of milking is how well your feed punya contribution is. Kalau makanan yang dekat tepi tu untuk dia nak cuba-cuba rasa daripada dia menyusu is something that is very calcium driven, then there's high chance yang dia akan makan kat situ, dia akan tinggal kat mak dia, jangan tak nak menyusu lagi. Kalau mak dia dah tak menyusu dengan dia, mak dia dah boleh kahwin lagi. So that increases productivity kan.
I see.
So these are some of the challenges lah.
Talking about menyusu ni, dululah many years back saya pergi Saudi, pergi ladang unta. Saya ingat arwahnya. Ini bahasa kasar sikit semoga Allah ampunkan dosa dia. Dia bilang, Daud, kau tengok Daud, tu unta pakai coli. Macam mana tu? Unta tu dia tak kasih anak-anak makan, minum. Pasal apa? Susu tu dia nak jual. Pasal dia tutup kan. Dia dah perah dia tutup sebab anak tu nak nyondol tak dapat. Jadi for you doing a business, sometimes you sell the milk and all. How do you make it? How do you extract and how do you share with the anak-anak?
So for us, we are a breeding facility. So kambing ni pun ada different types. So the one yang menyusu is usually Sanin, right? Sebab the nama kambing breed dia lah. So we don't specialize in that. So we don't produce the milk the meat the kambing for susu lah. So we don't, alhamdulillah, we don't have that problem. What we have sometimes too many anak-anak that we have to supplement more susu to
More
feed them.
susu. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jadi
Sorry, kambing dia kalau beranak berapa ekor selalu?
Between 1 to 4.
Oh.
Yeah,
We can,
tapi
they can have
usually
two lah. Two
usually
is the
singles or
average lah.
twins lah.
I
Once
see.
in a while we'll get triplets lah.
Oh, triplet. So,
Once
tu
in a
kembar
while.
3
Pernah dapat 4?
Pernah?
But quite rare lah,
Jarang.
Jarang. Kalau kadang-kadang tu
Kadang-kadang tu ada juga.
ada juga.
Sedikit pun ada.
Oh, satu.
Itu banyak.
Dengan tangan-tangan banyak.
Cinta betul banyak.
Okay, so I last year when I went to your farm, mashallah, the land is super huge.
InsyaAllah.
So from the first land that you got in Malaysia, that's in Mersing, so how has Aliyah Rizq grown over the years?
So kalau kita cerita pasal growth ni, I pun kadang-kadang terperanjat jugalah. Sebab kita ni macam cakap excited, kan kita tak excited tau. You see an opportunity somewhere and then we like to grab it lah. From 2 acres that we had in Mersing, and then we saw that the rate of growth of the animals is very fast, and we saw that this is going to be a long-term business. We went on to take the 100 acres, 25 acres dulu dekat Desaru. That 25 acres quickly grew to 100, and then now we are at 200, going to 320.
Oh, expand. It's same lot you
Same
buy
lot,
by
tapi
expand.
Yes. Because of the number of animals that we are raising, kita perlukan tanah yang agak luas lah. Kalau tak, kambing ni takkan cukup makan, dan dorang ni tak ada cukup tempat untuk kita nak simpan.
Betul.
But while we were doing that, we were also expanding to other countries. We went to Indonesia, we went to Cambodia, we went to Thailand. Kita ada set up dekat Kenya. We also have one in Morocco. So all of that while we were developing Malaysia.
Oh.
And then in Indonesia, we also develop cluster farms, peternak-peternak kecil ni yang susah, untuk kita bagikan dia contract to supply us back animals, because kita korban dekat Indonesia ni quite a large number. We did the same for Kenya, and we also are doing the same for Malaysia. So Malaysia sekarang ni kita ada about, I think, close to 50 cluster farms across the country.
Okay.
And we are opening up partner farms atau plasma farms that is in Melaka, in Perak, in Perlis, in Kelantan, and in Pahang. We are talking to one potential partner in Terengganu also. So there's going to be plasma farms in every state lah.
Oh, masya-Allah.
That's the hope lah.
Yeah,
InsyaAllah,
insyaAllah lah.
So dikirakan mini farm of Aliyah Rizq, tapi mini farm lagi tu.
Mini farms.
Masya-Allah, that's fun.
Yeah. So you pergi mana-mana kita ada lah. Senang untuk akses.
So almost every state.
Almost every state. Because the issue is that kita dapat a lot of requests from a lot of customers that are not in Johor.
Correct.
Desaru ni pula dekat ujung Malaysia tau. Dia ada ujung is Perlis kan.
Yeah.
So if we are going to be getting customers from, let's say, Selangor, for example, it takes them about 4 to 5 hours to come to Desaru to choose animals. Daripada dia waste their time to come down, us being nearer to them makes it easier for the sale to happen. And then also reduces the risk of animals along the
Travel.
road, mati ke, stress ke apa kan. So making it convenient for the customer, insyaAllah gives them ease lah.
InsyaAllah may Allah mudahkan urusannya.
Amin.
Buka kat every state, and after that yalah makin berkembang insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. From shepherd's point of view, macam mana your daily operation dekat farm tu?
Ini soalan deep ni. Waktu kita buat dulu-dulu as a shepherd, we have to make sure the science is right. The science. So embun tu dah habis ke belum? Pertama. Yang kedua, kambing ni semua dah ready untuk exercise ke belum?
Ready tu untuk exercise. Maksudnya?
Keluar berjalan.
Maknanya kambing tu dah boleh bangun, dah boleh buat activities. Kalau tak kan dia akan just rehat, dia regurgitate kan. Dia duduk, dia keluarkan balik, dia kunyah, dia telan. So that is a process that they have to complete first. If not, then the rumination dia akan terencat. So we have to make sure that they are ready, and then embun tu dah habis, so that kalau kita keluarkan dia untuk pergi ke rumput, cacing tak masuk ke badan. Cacing ni biasanya dekat ujung-ujung rumput tu, dan dia duduk dalam embun tu. They like the wet, moist punya kan. So when that is out of the way, maknanya rumput tu dah kering, cacing tu akan turun juga ke tanah. So when the kambing keluar untuk makan, dia akan makan rumput dekat sebelah atas kan. Cacing tak ada. That's the first thing you do. While they are busy eating, you are busy cleaning.
Satu orang bawa pergi makan,
Satu orang kena
bersihkan kandang. Maknanya dia punya najis, tempat palung makan dia punya lantai semua bersihkan, sebab nanti bila dia balik, dia kalau kotor, walaupun dia dah jaga kebersihan dia dekat luar, kat dalam tak selesa, dia pun tak nak function for you. Dia tak nak kahwin.
So kambing ni
tak
semua
rehat.
perangai
Dia manja.
Dia manja.
Macam jaga baby, jaga budak. You nak kena make sure pampers dia ganti, make sure dia mandi, make sure makan dia cukup, tidur waktu
Kalau
cukup
tak cranky.
time. Kalau tak cranky,
Tak nap time cranky.
Yes. So that is also how we see it lah as a shepherd. That the animals must be comfortable, they must be happy, they must be clean, so that they can eventually give you profits. That's one. And also eventually they will also make doa for you. Aku punya penternak ni jaga aku. They can vouch that every day my caretaker is making sure that I am living in the best possible life. Kan? So that is something else that you have to also take care. Jadi amanah untuk you kan.
Betul.
Dia kan sabar jaga kucing lah, jaga kambing ni.
That's why when one of the things that our Prophet SAW was trained to first is to jaga kambing, to see how patient and then karakter binatang tu he can transfer to karakter manusia.
Betul.
So from there dia dah ada disiplin, dan kita pun sebagai mereka yang jaga kambing tu akan juga berdisiplin dengan mereka. Betul. Dan sayang seperti mana Nabi sayang binatang. Kita akan sometimes kita boleh tengok caretaker ni dia main sebat aja kambing tu, main
kan?
tendang dan sebagainya. Itu yang kita rasa macam tak best lah.
Betul, geram dia tengok.
Pernah nampak tak staff-staff buat macam tu?
Ada. There are a few like that. So when this kind of thing happen, I don't tolerate lah. Kita memang dah make sure kita ajar tu dengan cara yang dengan penuh kasih sayang, dengan penuh ihsan. Kita nak kena pastikan yang apa yang kita jaga ni bawa balik barakah untuk kita. Bukan hanya sekadar bawa balik duit. Dia takkan jadi apa. It will never be enough. So when the staff don't follow, I get very angry lah.
Tak best lah
I
kan.
punya ayat pada my staff yang kurang ajar macam itu. Dalam kandang ni superstar tu dia, bukan kau.
Betul.
That's my ayat to them. They are the superstar. I'm paying you to take care of them. I'm not paying them to take care of you.
Deep
Bahasa
tu.
deep tu.
Baru dia sedar.
Boleh sedar.
Mana tinggi langit, mana tinggi kambing.
So like if you come to the farm, especially the young ones, the lambs semua, they're quite friendly. Dia suka dibelai, kadang-kadang dipeluk, dia manja, you know.
bestnya.
So macam kalau children come to the farm, they're very happy. Sebab dia dilayan, kambing ni dilayan. Macam ada orang lain friend. Ada friend.
Macam kindergarten.
Macam kindergarten, betul.
Boleh bawa Muhammad.
Boleh.
That time kita pergi when you pergi Desaru
Last year
kan. Last year kita baru habis hari lah. Time tu Muhammad baru 3 bulan.
3 bulan.
So when we went in, dia cakap by the time dia cakap I dah lambat ni nak kena masuk farm. So okay, you drive in. So I stayed over dekat hotel. So cakap malam boleh masuk. Mana boleh masuk.
Gelap.
So after that dia cakap okay lah, tak apalah, tak kali ni mungkin Muhammad dah besar sikit, kita ajak main kambing kat sana lah, insyaAllah.
Boleh.
So ada ATV, ada
The horse riding,
ada feeding semua boleh.
Ada angsa.
Angsa
Ada itik semua ada.
Ada
Macam zoo lah.
camel.
Itulah.
Macam zoo, boleh buat petting zoo gitu.
Yes.
Kat sana ada homestay juga
Homestay nearby the area adalah.
Ada ni.
Kalau kat ladang kita ada some cabins yang you can stay with the family. And then ada some rumah-rumah kayu kat bawah yang people like to do macam out of bounds punya outdoor activities. OBS.
Singapore itu rumah Singapore.
I tak tahu lah apa outbound ke outbound Tapi dia like to do those kind of rugged activities lah. Duduk rumah kayu, malam pergi night walk, bakar-bakar,
Tengok stars.
tengok stargazing.
Ni untuk orang-orang yang sukakan nature.
Nature. Betul. Because the rumah kayu tu, because we clear out quite a lot of land. Jadi kayu-kayu tu sustainability lah Like kayu-kayu tu one of our staff potong buatkan jadi rumah kayu. So we don't waste the natural resources lah. Buat rumah kayu, buat little barbecue pit, buat tempat duduk.
Toilet semua style Piramli yang kotak tu.
Betul.
Depan semua ada pangkar.
Jangan salah pangkar.
Jangan salah pangkar.
Okay, insyaAllah we pause for a while. Nanti we go on to the second second segment for the korban operation insyaAllah in Singapore. Okay.